Right now, the disrespect that Ravens fans are showing towards Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson is unacceptable. You have some fans out there calling Flacco a bum, disrespecting him, and acting like he never did anything for this franchise. And you have another group of people who are looking at Lamar, calling him a bum, saying he's not the future of the franchise, and saying that he's going to be out of the league in 2 years and be hurt. This is completely disgusting, and it's showing a division in this franchise. What has our fan base become? We have a lot to talk about today, so let's get into it. So the Lamar Jackson hate is just getting out of control. The guy started in 2 games and people have already called him a bust, saying he can't throw, he can't do this, he's gonna get injured, he's gonna be out of the league in 2 years. Such just disrespect towards a kid who just got here 2 starts and people already disrespect him. But what's worse is we're getting a bunch of that hate from our own fan base. People who are die-hard supporters of Flacco are trashing Lamar Jackson because they don't want to see Flacco get away from starters. They're calling him a bum. They're saying he can't throw. He's not going to be the future of this franchise. They don't want him to be the starter. They're saying all this kind of nonsense to support Flacco. What is wrong with our fan base? I thought we support all our players. And here we are trashing a young rookie who just got here and could possibly be the face of our franchise. And we're just treating him like he's garbage. It's not all the fans. It is not all the fans. But the fans who are supporting Flacco way too much. And again, you can have your preference. I'm not saying that you can't be a supporter of Flacco. What I'm saying is you have to show respect to all the players. But the ones who are really supporting Flacco are just trashing Lamar and acting like this guy is garbage and he's obviously going to fail. Like he's destined to fail. How do you say a dude who just got in the league is destined to fail? How do you say he's destined to be out of the league in 2 years? How are you going to say the dude can't throw? The guy went out there and showed that he can throw. There's a difference between not being able to throw and being inaccurate. Tim Tebow couldn't throw, but Lamar Jackson's inaccurate. So why are we sitting here as a fan base disrespecting this guy? Unbelievable. You have to show respect to every player. We're fans of this team, and we're showing disrespect to a kid who doesn't even deserve that. He's humble, he comes here, he wants to be part of this franchise, and he's constantly learning. What's wrong with that? The disrespect to this guy is just absolutely disgusting. The only thing worse than the Lamar Jackson hate is the Joe Flacco hate. Because again, there are people who are sick and tired of Flacco, they're tired of the playoff drought, and they believe Lamar Jackson can lead them now and while also learning and growing and developing and becoming the future of this franchise. Again, I don't have a problem with that. But you have a lot of people like, get this bum Flacco. They are saying some of the I cannot believe what they're saying about Joe Flacco. Like, this guy has done so much. He is the greatest Raven quarterback in franchise history. And you have people out there treating him like he was trash and that he was here for 10 years and a complete bum and never accomplished anything. This guy led us to multiple AFC championship games, multiple playoff wins. He won a Super Bowl for us. He's done so much for this franchise. And to see what this fan base is saying about him, just throwing him away like he's trash, to do that to him, it's just so disrespectful. To do that to this man who's brought so much to this Ravens team. It's just so disrespectful. You can support Lamar and say you want him to be the future. But at least, if this is Flacco's last ride, if this is Flacco's last season here, can we treat this man with some respect? For what he's done for this organization, for what he's done for this franchise. Can we show this man some respect? Why are we as fans disrespecting the man that got us a Super Bowl? That's just disgraceful. How do you call yourself a Ravens fan and disrespect what that man has brought for us for a decade? Has it been perfect? No. The first 5 years were great. We were getting to playoffs. The last 5 years has been mediocrity. I get it. It's been divided. And people want something new, and people are tired of missing the playoffs under Joe Flacco. Has it been all his fault? No, but he is partly to blame for that. His play has not been to the level we expected when we gave him that contract. And I understand that. But you can't put all the blame on him. Sometimes the defense has made mistakes. Sometimes it's been coaching mistakes. Heck, Our offensive coordinators have been changing over the years. That has something to do with it. When you have to learn a new offense every single year, that's going to be a problem for a quarterback. He's going to have to adjust to that. And we've already talked about Flacco's not an elite quarterback. As much as you want to say it, Flacco's not an elite quarterback. For all the people supporting Flacco and saying, just get him weapons, just get him weapons, get him elite weapons, get him elite weapons, get him elite weapons. The teams continue to get weapons. Granted, it's not elite, but he's shown in the past he could get it done. The Joe Flacco that won a Super Bowl, you look at the weapons around him, they weren't elite weapons. They were really good players, but they weren't elite weapons. I mean, Anquan Boldin was at the end of his career. Torrey Smith was great, but he wasn't at that elite level yet. It looked like he was on the eclipse of being elite, but he still wasn't there yet. Jacoby Jones wasn't an elite receiver, but he was a great returner. The weapons Flacco had around him wasn't elite, except Dennis Pitta. Dennis Pitta was actually an elite tight end. I mean, at that point in time, you could actually make an argument that he was a top 5 tight end in the league because he was so consistent. Before the hip injuries, he was so consistent, he was getting numbers done. So I could actually at least agree with that he had that. But you look at the weapons around him, he didn't have elite talent, and he still won a Super Bowl. So why, years later, are we saying that he needs to have elite talent to be able to thrive? I thought all-time great players can get it done with lesser talent. Not everyone's going to have the perfect situation, but you know what? Great players can work with not the ideal situation. You may not have the ideal situation, but a great quarterback doesn't need the ideal situation to win. That's why they're legendary. You look at Dan Marino, he may have never won a Super Bowl, but he got there. And he didn't have the best of weapons. His defense was awful, but he got there. That's the whole struggle. You may not have the best of circumstances, but you still get it done. You know why Aaron Rodgers is an elite? Because he doesn't have the best weapons around him. He's had great players in his past, but to say a year where he's just had a bunch of weapons near him, it's not really there. And he's still been able to get it done. He's had bad situations, but he's won a Super Bowl from it, and he's been able to deliver time after time after time again. Russell Wilson, he's running for his life and he's still being able to deliver. You have to be able to deliver if you're going to be an elite player. And Joe Flacco has not done that. You don't need ideal situations to succeed if you're an elite quarterback. But even though Flacco's not elite, it doesn't matter. This guy I didn't care that the guy wasn't elite because he was making the playoffs and he was winning games. You know what? At that point in time, I could argue between that span of 2011 and 2014, Joe Flacco was one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Maybe not in the regular season, but the fact that this guy was winning games, if you look at the stats, it wasn't great. But he kept winning games, he kept getting to the playoffs, and he kept winning playoff games and going to AFC Championship games. 3 AFC Championship games in the first 5 years of his career. A Super Bowl win. You stretch out to the first seven years. A 10-5 record. This guy was winning at the highest level. I didn't care that he wasn't considered elite because he was winning and he was getting to playoffs. But he's not doing that anymore. So we gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. Flacco may not be elite anymore, but you gotta let it go. But the issue now comes with, because of the way he's been able to play, he's been playing the last year, and we haven't been getting to playoffs, and now Lamar's here, people are disrespecting this guy and acting like he's never done anything for this franchise. That is so disgusting that our own fan base will sit back and disrespect him. If you want to look towards the future and move on, that's fine. But at least show respect to Joe Flacco, who got you a Super Bowl. Do not disrespect this man. He has earned the respect of this fan base for what he has been able to do during his time here. It hasn't been perfect, but he has gotten it done in the postseason. He's brought this franchise a championship, and he deserves the respect from the fan base. He deserves the respect. And I don't know why we continue to do this. Why are we fighting as a fan base between Lamar and Joe Flacco? You know, there are fans that are like, they really don't care who it is, and they're quite lenient. They're not against Joe Flacco coming back. If Lamar's starting for the rest of the season, so be it. They're fine with it. The kid's growing. He's getting experience. They like that. But if Joe Flacco comes in and it's his last ride, they have the decency and respect to be like, okay, it may be his last ride, maybe his last year. It's fine if Flacco comes in. We don't have a problem. We know he has experience. Maybe he can get to the playoffs this year. And if he doesn't, he'll be gone next year. And he'll at least go out on his terms. Kind of. But to just disrespect both this young guy because you prefer Flacco, or to disrespect what Flacco's done for this franchise because you want to see something new in Lamar is just disgraceful. What type of fan base are we becoming? What type of fan base are we showing out here? This is why so many people across the other NFL teams hate the Ravens. You look at this fan base and it's just doing stuff like this. I put this out there like a long time ago. If I wasn't a die-hard Ravens fan and I looked from the outside in, the way this fan base has been acting, I would legit hate this team. Because that's the way we're putting ourselves out there. That's the picture we're showing to other NFL fans. Just what type of fan base are we becoming? Well, we're going to disrespect the man who brought us a Super Bowl championship, who's done a lot for this organization. How are you going to disrespect that? And what type of fan base disrespects somebody who could be the future quarterback of this team, who could be the future face of this franchise? How do you go out and disrespect that? How do you do that? We got to get it together, Ravens fans. Whether it's Flacco or Lamar going forward for the rest of the season, can we show respect to these two guys? Okay? Can we show respect and just cheer for this team and be a fan base again? Because it's so disgusting with what I'm seeing from these guys. These comments have been so disgraceful. Can we show some decency and give respect to what Flacco's done and give this kid respect for possibly being the future face of our franchise, and being humble, not coming in cocky, and just trying to learn and trying to grow leadership and grow as a quarterback? Can we show these two some respect, please? Good God, man. That's all I really just want to say, because this whole situation is just disgraceful for our franchise. We're divided and we're fighting amongst each other. Can we all just come together and be like, you know what? Whatever quarterback's out there, I support them. At least for this season. If Flacco's out there for the rest of the season, let's support him, let's show our support, and let him go off into the sunset on his terms, kind of. If it's Lamar for the rest of the way, let's give Flacco the respect he's done. If he's gonna leave at the end of the year, show our respect and move on towards the future. Let's just do that. That's all I gotta say, guys. We gotta get it together as a fan base, because honestly, I'm starting to see why other fan base truly hate Ravens. Just hate Ravens fans and just hate the Ravens organization as a whole. Absolutely disgraceful, guys.